Hello, you're welcome to today's Hangout with me. My name is Doris John. I'm a graduate of the Kingdom Builders Academy Bootcamp training and a member of the Inner Circle and an ongoing fast track strategy coaching training. Today, I'm excited and I've organized this 30 minutes Hangout session to share with you what I like about Kingdom Builder Academy by Tamara Lowe and my experience and journey so far, as well as to deliver you in exchange for your time, to deliver value to you in exchange of your time by sharing a no-fail webinar creation checklist information takeaway with you for your business and ministry success. As a student of Kingdom Builder Academy Bootcamp, I established that I can become a go-to expert and a sought-after coach in my areas and general life experiences. I have been able to diffuse the fear of getting and building a sustainable online business through my bootcamp training at Kingdom Builder Academy. I learned how to share my compelling stories with my tribe, and I'm beginning to monetize my message. Kingdom Builder Academy is a dynamic network and an empowering community of like-minded believers and professionals with common goals and interests. The teaching concept in itself is hands-on and practicable. It has helped me excavate my innate abilities and talent, as well as continually equipping me daily, weekly with knowledge and concepts for business success. Only recently, I also discovered my skill in public speaking engagements. I officiated the consecration service of my pastor as a bishop in my church last August. To this end, I will now go ahead and share my screen on the training, the no-fail webinar creation checklist. It's a powerful checklist that will help us grow our business. A minute, I get a sip of water and bring up my PowerPoint slide. There we go. The no-fail webinar creation checklist by Doris John. We all know the beauty of webinar and the mastery of webinar delivery as a powerful tool for business success. Webinar by definition is simply seminar delivered on the web. And this is a powerful no-fail webinar checklist that helps you gather every items and tasks that is required for verification purposes prior to carrying out delivering your webinar. You would need to start off by researching what your market wants and needs through extensive research. What is trending in the magazines? It could be trade posts, newsletter. The Amazon website offers a great platform for research in your market need and your niche in and Facebook comments and feedbacks on popular searches are very powerful way to go. The ability to also analyze comments in blogs and public forums will help you create your hot content. Creating surveys are also very useful. And then for your forums and private membership sites, there are loads of questions that your hungry customers are posting daily. This is also an avenue to exploit to ensure that all that you need to create a good and great content is available. And then you can also gather views from your subscribers. Next is you want to go into planning and the monetization part of the webinar. Have you planned your webinar in such a manner that you want to decide if it's going to be a paid or free webinar and what type you choose to create? Moving on, you want to also know how you're going to monetize it. And these are the checklists, helps you to identify what to promote. Could be product offer or affiliate offers of your own product, or such as books and ebooks, your course or training offer, and also your membership site. Planning also entails repurposing and repackaging your post-webinar into a sales offer. You may also want to use it to add value to a forum or membership site, currently such as the Kingdom Builder Academy. Your recorded webinars and replays can also be monetized. This check helps you narrow down and be able to have a good plan as well as monetizing it. Or you may that you are passionate about and want to deliver. Or you could sell it as a sample to your series of webinar on the selected hot topics that you've narrowed down as a niche. Moving on, the checklist section provides review of your competition and pricing. You want to review your direct customers, direct competitors, to see what general pricing range is reasonable to price your webinar. And having done that, you would also want to ascertain if your webinar is perceived as a high value among your target customers. Then you also want to choose to venture above. If you choose to venture above this price range that is established for your niche, you may want to consider items and tax like adding bonuses that your competitions don't currently offer, or bringing on extraordinary guest experts to air in your webinar sessions, as well as teaching about unique subject areas that are ranging area or of expertise or niche. And another quick nugget is repeatedly asked questions that have been neglected. You may want to pick on them and develop your content. The next slide is going to show us about webinar formats. Foremost, you want to establish that this webinar is the best way to present your information or your offer to your target audience. Then on, you want to go ahead and decide the type of format that you will need to create to best promote it. As a single presenter, that is you in question here, or a single presenter that is done by another person, but you as the host. Another format is the interview, or otherwise called the Q&A type. Your customers send in their questions, their pain points, and their areas of needs, and the questions are answered in professional logical sequence. We also have the summit style with more than one guest available to leverage what you have to share. What and how to promote. This checklist is more detailed in giving you information about promoting a product affiliate. As the creator of the product, being a special guest, or without them being a special guest on your webinar. You could also use it to teach a how-to lesson, which is a growing market in today's digital economy. You could present groundbreaking niche information as well and give samples away of your coaching, also details promoting your own product or book, giveaways as a bonus for sign up or product purchase. If you do consider going into joint venture partnership, offering your product as a bonus, it's something to consider and part of the detailed checklist. Add as a resource to your membership site or one to which you are a member. And then you want to also consider presenting it as a free sample of a paid series in a niche topic or otherwise. Moving on to the next slide. There are various forms of delivery. This aspect of the checklist enables you to answer key questions and be well prepared to know if you're going to run your webinar live or it's going to be pre-recorded as a webcast. Is your webinar going to be public or paid for? Or public or free for all to consume? Or by invitation only? Most inner circle membership are by invitation only. It's a concept and it works well. You could also consider initially rendering your webinar free and then offer it as a pay-on-demand webcast. Exclusive for a private membership site or a Facebook group is another way to go. And it's key to be on a checklist, detailed the tasks and items for your subscribers only or as a special offer. This next slide is about monetizing the strategies. The checklist enables you to determine which option is best in the short term and in the long run, how to generate the most money. Every entrepreneur is in the business to make money. The digital modern day entrepreneur is out to deliver great content at a great value. You want to consciously also create products that deliver quality value to the consumer or your customer in such a way that it converts them to your loyal long-term customers through strategic follow-ups. You could also use it to build a community of raving fans, or by way of the Facebook group based on the webinar topic that are niche down, and for those who purchase the offer, who are possibly going to be your live members and live leads. You have also considered whether or not you're going to do it all by yourself, although in this case, I don't particularly suggest that. Another checklist item would be to create a team. You will want to think way ahead of your webinar creation and delivery, how you're going to develop your team and who you want to enlist in your team by way of an assistant or using your existing webinar hosting company options to deliver effective seminar on the web. Speaking earlier on about services, this next slide showcases details of the check, what to check, the list items to check to enlist. Have you considered whether or not there will be an adequate benefit and return on investment by enlisting the following services? You do need to do. Do you want a virtual assistant who specializes in webinar setup to help with organizing and handling the techie side setup and handling of webinar running and creation? A video camera operator, if a webcam is not up to the job for your type of engagement. By the side, a transcriptionist could be of help and a resource to your business if you involve in volumes of script writing. And then a lighting technician for outdoor locations or when you have live guests on board to produce a professional looking videos for your webinar. The service of a copywriter is equally a good task to consider. That is able to come up with a script and handouts and bonus reports that showcase and appeal to your customers. You will also need to consider the publications, a publicist, one who handles the advertisement and branding for your business. Us to know that it's important that as an entrepreneur, you'd also want to spend time to check references for any service provider or staff that you'll be engaging. Moving on, the web, this will help you make the best of all the arrays of hosting services and providers that are currently available. You want to consider a paid webinar hosting service or a free webinar hosting service. And you would want to put down, by way of easy reference, the hosting service and the URL. You also need to check and make sure your webinar hosting services provide all the necessary features and that you would be requiring. Has all the features that you need? Does it include features that you don't particularly want to see, such as advertising other companies? These are important nuggets to consider. Or they offer automatic recording and replay. In this day and age, many customers or clients would want to engage with your services if they are sure that if they miss a webinar training session or a coaching session, they could easily have an automatic recording and replay link to be able to view at their earliest convenience. Continue on the hosting selection. You would also want to consider, as part of the checklist process, the number of participants that could comfortably sit in. Different providers have minimum and maximum numbers. If you want to host up to 2,000 participants at a sitting, you would need to put that into consideration in selecting your hosting service. If you'll be using a USB headset and microphone, you would want to consider that it is being tested and proven to be functional prior to conducting your webinar. Also, it's important to remember to create a promotion plan for your webinar. Have you created a hashtag? These are optional for your webinar. And you'd also want to make sure that if you created one, that it's being used by asking others to share it. My hashtag is, you put your hashtag information in the blank. Have you created a Facebook cover photo and an app to promote your webinar? Social media, branding and advertising is a great platform to showcase yourself in modern day, for the modern day entrepreneur. And have you created your autoresponder follow-up email series? That by way of, if you want to do it by yourself or by hiring a virtual assistant or copywriter. Other packages are available and numerous on the web that provide such. And as a wrap up, you want to drill deeper into creating your script, which is what brings in the money and add value to the end user. Have you created a script for your webinar that resonates with the why, the reason behind why you are running your webinar, and that works for you typically in your niche? It's a great point to consider. Repurposing your webinar to ensure that you don't leave money on the table. It's also a forward-thinking approach. A lesson shared today, a great value content could be repurposed for different niches and for different participants. Landing page, otherwise known as opt-in page as well, could be an incentive where you want to use your webinar resources. Have you made sure joining your list is a part of the sign-up process? This way you're able to call your leads. And it's important and advisable that you're able to seed your webinar ahead of with attendees. The next item highlighted is ability to align your webinar, its content, its prices, and its format with your target audience. Is a surefire way to business success. And you would also want to show the people that your landing page promotions, and especially in the actual webinar, how they can save money in the long run, how they can make money in the short run, and improve the quality of their life by participating in your webinar and drawing value from the content delivery. And in summary, you want to continually build your community of engaged tribes and customers through pre-webinar email series. A post-webinar follow-up plan needs to be in place and have other upcoming. And if you do have other upcoming events and webinar series, you want to calendar them in such a manner that you are able to share with them and engage your raving fan. I sincerely believe that it's an extensive checklist that promises a great webinar creation and delivery. Thank you for listening. And I really hope that at the minimum you were able to learn one piece of information to take away to expand your business or ministry. And now I'll share my screen. And now I'll share my screen. Thank you for watching. And I hope that this webinar has been of great value to you. And in the list that you have one nugget you can take away from this no-fail webinar checklist creation. Thank you for coming and I appreciate your time. Shalom.